Good evening, welcome at the Logos Foundation at the Tetrahedron, where we have our weekly webcasts on members of the Logos Robot Orchestra. For tonight we have something special, and it may sound funny to many of you, because the robot we are presenting is called Trump. Now, it was called Trump long before a person with the same name became president of the United States. To my knowing, that was in 2016 only, whereas this Trump was actually built between 1999 and 2004. So it's been long before this president. So why is it called Trump? Well, first of all, because the kind of register it uses is a modified trumpet register taken from an old organ, actually from an organ going back on the beginning of the 19th century, from the period that Flanders was still together with Holland in the Great Netherlands. So it comes actually from a Protestant church in Ghent also. At some point, the original organ of that church became unrestorable, and I had the chance to get all of the pipe work and actually the whole organ here at Logos, so we could do other things with it. Unfortunately, the trumpet register, as we found it, was in very, very bad shape. First of all, I have here one of the original pipes. It was, in the tongues, there was a lot of oxides, lead oxide, which is a very toxical substance actually to work on, so to clean that you have to have some skill and take some precautions. There was one thing, but this one looks now reasonably well. But most of the other pipes of that register were completely smashed and broken. So I decided to make an original instrument from it. And what I did is, for the low pipes, which are on this robot to the extreme right side, I cut off all the resonators to very short lengths. Then, as the pitch of the pipe goes up, I make the resonators longer, which is completely the opposite of what an organ builder normally would do, because normally the resonators go shorter as the pitch goes up, of course. Here's the other way around. So, short resonators for the low pipes and long resonators for the high pipes. What is the acoustical effect? Well, the acoustical effect is that you get, again, completely the opposite of what you get in a traditional organ. In a traditional organ, you try, as a builder, to get a homogeneous sound all through one register of the instrument. Here, the timbre of the trumpet sounds will change and go from very sharp in the low, like bang, 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 bang. So the timbre will change for every single pitch. This gives rise to an acoustical illusion when you play a scale on this instrument, because if you play climbing, upwards going scale, you perceive also something going downwards as the formants and the tuning, the resonators, become more pronounced. So this counter motion is one of the features of this robot. So here's the pipe work, and then to make them a little bit more homogeneous, I made an exponential horn covering all the resonators of the pipes, so the resonators are actually inside this exponential horn, and this gives it a very good projection to the audience and also makes the sounds of the pipes melt together to make it, in a way, again, homogeneous. The pipes here are controlled by a very quite heavy compressor here that works on about 300 millimeter water column. That's pretty high pressure for an organ and can be controlled. Of course, the robot is completely MIDI controllable, etc. So we will give you a demo. We'll give you a demo in two parts. The first piece is actually something funny because it goes back on the 14th century and comes from a German town, Görlitz, where at some point in history they had no money to have big bells in the church. So someone got the idea of making a lion's roar and using that as a signal for time and for when the mass starts and things like that. So this is known in history as Görlitz lion's roar, das Löwengebrüll. Okay, so we know this is documented which pitches it were, and Trump is perfectly suited to reproduce that original lion's roar from Görlitz. And then next to that we have a piece composed by one of our collaborators here, especially for the bizarre effects that Trump is capable of producing. So, okay, thank you for being with us at this webcast from the Logos Foundation. Thank you, Christoph, for doing the video work and monitoring the audio for tonight. Next week we will have something with live performance, with dance and the robots. Well, tune in at 8 o'clock next week again. See you, goodbye.